Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm on here with Andre, who hasn't been on my channel in a long time, but he's very successful with his own channel now. So I figured we would talk about some international dividends, something he's very much an expert on. So Andre, welcome back to the channel.
Awesome. Thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to talk about
this is kind of how we started, like before the podcast, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and especially today's topic, international dividends. I will be skewing the point of view for Americans for investing overseas. Let's see.
Cool.
Give me 1 second.
I literally, like I was telling you before, outside of U.S. dividends, I know nothing. I mean, I like the American companies like, Verizon, AT&T, Philip Morris, companies like that pay anywhere from, 4 to 8%. And we already know how you feel about the high yield funds, so no need to go there.
So can you here? I'll share my screen real quick, guys, and give you guys some perspective in why international dividends could be beneficial for you. Give me a second. Where's my window? Here we go. So, you see my screen? Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Actually, my bad. I'm sharing the wrong screen.
Oh,
no, it's the same screen. I just clicked the wrong button. My bad.
Okay.
Window.
Be sure to give us a good, rattle off some international companies for us to look into.
Let me do some analysis. So we're going to look at some, just a good help. We're going to look at some economics and why it's very helpful to look at international dividends. So here we go. We're going to look at the yen first, okay? As a quick example. So if you look at since March of 2011, the dollar versus the yen. So basically, since then, the dollar has been basically going parabolically up. So basically, you're doubling your purchasing power if you go from dollars to yen. Now, the reasoning for this is because if this chart went back even further, it's an ebb and flow. Strong dollar, strong yen, strong dollar, strong yen. Right here is stronger yen. Right now, stronger dollars. So if you're looking from a long-term point of view, if you're looking at buying into Japanese stocks, for example, and these Japanese stocks are extremely cheap comparing to your dollar because you're, double up your purchasing power. If you buy these cheap and the dollar reverses going from cheap, more purchasing power to less, you can get into that ebb and flow. So it's basically the Asian American pendulum swinging back and forth. So for me, the dollar is really strong right now. I'll give you some examples in that. Where's that at? If you look at the Korean won or look at the USD dollar, the dollar is much stronger, bringing out easier ways to make some cheaper access to it, okay? Now, I'm not going to talk about the brokers. The brokers are a little bit different, but if we look at Korean won, and won's in the same scenario, where's top Japanese dividend stocks? So we'll look at some easy dividend stocks. We're not going to go too specific because to me it'd be a little bit harder. But if we look at some general things, when it comes to Japanese stocks and Korean stocks, they pay quarterly and annually, and there's some biannual ones. There are no monthly. And when I mean no monthly, like I couldn't find any stable companies that pay monthly at all. So you're looking at quarterly payments, and you're pretty much going for more capital appreciation than it is the dividend. But it can be helpful because remember, you are getting paid in a weaker currency, but you're betting on like a 5 or 10 year thing that the currency, the dollar gets weaker against that currency and they switch because the dollar can't be powerful forever, just how it is. So let's look at, so Nippon. So basically Nippon in Japanese means bank. So bank building fund, Mitsu, Logic. So we got to look at some high yield. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best stock to buy, but if you have the perspective of buying cheap international stocks in mind and that you're buying it extremely cheap, so we look at the dollar price or yen price. This is dollar. Looking at $10, you're looking at 8.5%, a little bit. We got some REITs, got some steel companies. These are just a different play. So when you're looking at your portfolio, just say you had 20% directed to dividends. Maybe allocate 5 or 10% out of that and allocate it for international dividend stocks, either like funds, REITs, ETFs, ETNs. Just mix. It would be good as a good blend. So if the dollar does switch down and the American goes into, let's say, a recession, and Japan starts doing really good, because recessions are not proportional in the sense that if America goes down, everyone goes down. Some countries do good during a recession.
Yep.
Other countries do good during a recession. So
yeah,
let's look at some examples. What's Bloomberg? No, not this one right here. Let's just choose a random company just to give you off of that. Yeah, Yamaha right here. Ticker ID. So the ticker does start with a number, not like a code. So numbers like 7951T. So when you go to like Market Watch, and Market Watch,
but you type in a code.
Market Watch is good because it breaks down the charts so you can see the dividends align with everything else. Kind of like TradingView, but I prefer Market Watch for dividends. So we'll just copy this in right here and paste it over here. And they have international stocks on here. They do. Not this one specifically. Let's remove that real quick. Yamaha. So they put it as JP. So if there's a T, so this is Sen Hyaku Rokuju N. Let's see. And it's good to understand, like when you start studying other cultures or other countries, it's helpful to understand their language just a bit. So if we get rid of earnings, look at the splits, get rid of the MACD, and get rid of volume, go all. You'll see that you got a progressive, a dividend's quite consistent. This is probably a special. So 1,000 to 3,000 yen. Yen is typically obviously a lot less. So you're talking about a $15 to $20 stock, or actually right now it's like $8 stock ish. And you can see that their growth. So this is a cheaper play because remember, you're getting double your money. So if we had $20, right? Just an example, I'll bring it back to here. We're trying just to yen to Japanese yen, and we go to, let's say you have $20. Now you have 3,000 yen or sansen yen. So your 3,000 yen, you can buy 3 of their shares because you're getting a little bit of a discount. Comparing to 2011, you can only buy 1 share. See, you're making a really good impact, and this is why I tell you, like, if you start looking at, so Japan is a top tier country. They're not a poor country. If we look at Korea, top tier country. But if we look at poorer countries to get into, now you're getting into more of the riskier funds, but your dollar goes a whole lot longer. So if you get into one of those special companies that really ramp up, you have to measure. So for example, if the company does a 10x, but the currency conversion is even worse, to say the dollar went 10% stronger. So you're not getting a full 10x value. You're getting like a 7x. If that makes sense.
Yeah, still phenomenal.
Yeah, there are a lot of companies that people can get into, especially when it comes to Korean-based companies. I don't know if you've been to Korea before.
Nope.
So if you go to Korea, Korea is very cheap. There's good banks. Like I have Hana Financial Group. I have that as a personal bank, and KEB Bank. Where's KEB Bank? Korean Airlines.
I know about Korean Air.
If you
Samsung.
Samsung. I mean, I've been to their factories when I used to live in Korea for a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah, really helpful to, like, if you live out there, you can see the culture, you can see the different dynamics of their country, and like these dividends are relatively low, so there is some payment, but you're literally going for the capital appreciation because of when the dollar's high, you're sitting good. When the dollar's low, because remember, the dollar cannot be this strong forever. Hence, back in 2012, 2011, for a dollar over here. See, we're way, way, way up here. A good example is this: our neighbors, Canada, right? If we look at the Canadian dollar, and we get off this chart real quick. Back in 2011, you got you almost got 50% more purchasing power today going from dollar to Canadian dollars than you did back in 2011. You see? So the dollar has been on a massive bull run compared to other foreign countries. But our neighbors, we're doing pretty good. So, for example, if you want to buy into Canadian companies, your dollar can go a whole lot better way in Canada, earning dollars going to Canada. Let's look at Mexico real quick, because it's our partners, right? USD,
right.
USD,
our trade partners.
Mexico is our biggest trading partner. If we compare to
until
this
they get
right
tariffs,
here,
right?
I don't know. Me and Blake talked about that a little bit without trying to get politicized.
Right.
And I think it's beneficial in a sense, but we'll see. I mean, like we had a high back in 2020. I think it was under President Trump at the time, right? I think at the end, no, not so much because it was Biden and then it was Trump a little bit, then Biden. But we'll see. If you look right here.
Wait, the year 2020?
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, no, that was all Biden. He came in 2021.
Yeah. When is
Trump. I'm sorry.
Yeah. When do they step out of office? Which month? It's like January something.
January 20th.
20th. So
yeah,
not too bad. We went from what is this? 2015, 12 pesos or $12 to even now. So this is good conversion, and this is why I tell you like it's good to earn a basket of income currencies. So if you want to move to Mexico, you already get Mexican income. You have dollars coming in to fund your lifestyle. You don't have to earn as much to live in Mexico than you do in the States.
Right. I've even seen like people leave the U.S. to go to Mexico, and their money goes a lot further.
We actually talked about that on our Discord. This is a guy who's in the real estate market who's going to be moving to Mexico, and he's like, man, I am basically keeping an insane amount. Like his overhead drops 90% pretty easily.
Wow. So do you think our inflation here has really exacerbated that too?
Yeah. I mean, and also, I mean, we're a dominant force economically, not because we produce everything. Just we produce a lot of technology and things that people need in a sense of like use, like YouTube or Twitter, or not Twitter, X. These platforms are definitely economic drivers, but not to go into that political realm.
Yeah.
But politics to me would be a good driver.
Yeah. Well, I think the audience got some pretty good ideas there. We're going to have to kind of keep it short tonight.
Oh, okay.
But
what else would you like to cover?
Any last minute dividend tips for the audience?
Yeah. If you, the biggest dividend tip would be this. If you're looking at international dividends, the best thing to do is one, fly to that country, visit the culture, see how it is. Like I lived in Japan, I think 7 years. Like I've lived in so many other countries, like bouncing around, checking out, like living in Korea multiple years, been to Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. Go to those countries, see how they are, see like, okay, this is the culture, this is how their market moves, this is some economic drivers. Let me put some money in there per month, per quarter, whatever amount, and build up a small portfolio in Thailand, for example. So if I need to make my exit, I have Thai assets, for example. And if you have Thai assets, you can go to that country, and guess what? Now you're there as an investor, and you have a longer visa.
I want to fly to that country on my dividends from that country's dividend-paying companies.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to put a ton up there, but
yeah,
it does make it easier for, and it also makes an individual more of I would say more rounded. Because if you're only stuck in the States, for just an example, and we have an economic depression here in the States, and it affects a basket of countries, but you're in Kenya, and Kenya just blossoms, your portfolio can that small 5% can blossom, kind of like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's a small part of my portfolio, but when it hit 100K, that thing it pushed into the gold and silver. Like I was like, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. Let me unshare. How do I remove this?
Oh, I can do it.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I removed you.
Solo.
And then I removed me. All right. Well, that sounds good. That's just going to be a quick one tonight. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We wanted to give you all some international dividend ideas. So thanks, Andre, for coming on. Great to have you back on. It's been a while. Yeah. And okay. Well, we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for coming on. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join our Discords, both of our channels. Subscribe to us. And we will see you all later. Take care. Bye.
Peace.
All right. Yeah.